Imagine walking through the narrow, winding streets of ancient Greece, over 2,500 years ago. The sunlight filters gently through the whitewashed walls and stone columns, casting golden patterns across cobblestones worn smooth by countless footsteps. The air is alive with a symphony of scents, the sweet aroma of blooming olive and fig trees, the earthy scent of recently tilled soil, and the comforting fragrance of warm bread and honey baking over open flames. Birds chirp above in the trees, mingling with the distant sounds of the marketplace where merchants call out, selling grapes, olives, and small clay pots filled with oil and wine. In one small courtyard, a family gathers. This is no grand festival for nobility. It is a humble celebration, yet rich with meaning. On a simple wooden table covered with a linen cloth that has been carefully cleaned and pressed, sits a round, golden cake. Its surface is slightly cracked, evidence of hours spent baking over hot coals. This cake is not just a dessert, it is a symbol, a sacred offering, a ritual made tangible. Its round shape mirrors the moon above, honouring Artemis, the goddess of the moon. Carefully placed beeswax candles catch the soft afternoon light, and when lit, their flames flicker like miniature stars, casting gentle shadows on the walls and faces of those gathered. The family leans in, whispering wishes and silent prayers. It is believed that the smoke carries their hopes to the gods above. At this time, birthdays are not a celebration for everyone. They are reserved mostly for nobles or special families, yet here in this modest courtyard, the spirit of celebration is alive. These humble gatherings plant the seeds of a tradition that will endure millennia. Romans, centuries later, will adopt this practice, adapting the cakes to their tastes, adding sweet breads enriched with honey, olive oil, and finely ground grains. Though these early cakes have no frosting or layers, they are rich with symbolism and intention. Every detail of this ancient ritual is deliberate. Fruits or leaves pressed into the dough tell stories silently, about the seasons, family hopes, and wishes for health and prosperity. The aroma of honey mingling with warm bread evokes anticipation and comfort. Every bite is nourishment, yes, but also a form of magic. Sharing the cake connects participants to something larger than themselves, a divine rhythm of life, growth, and community. It is a moment where mundane life meets ritual, where sweetness becomes a medium of meaning. Over the centuries, the practice spreads across the Mediterranean. Each region adds its own flavours, symbols, and artistry. Some sprinkle crushed nuts on top, others fold in dried fruits or local spices. What began as a tribute to a goddess evolves into a deeply human tradition, celebrating milestones, marking the passage of time, and finding joy in sweetness. Even today, elaborate cakes with layers, frosting, and colourful decorations trace their lineage back to these simple, golden rounds baked with care, reverence, and hope. Picture a child in this courtyard. Their eyes widen as the soft glow of the candles flickers in the fading sunlight. Family members gather close, leaning in to see the small hands and the eager, bright eyes of the child about to taste something extraordinary. The smell of honey, freshly baked bread, and the faint scent of burning beeswax fills the air. The child reaches for the first piece, savouring its slightly chewy texture and subtle sweetness, unknowingly tasting a story thousands of years old. Each mouthful connects the past with the present, bridging generations who have celebrated life in this way. The ritual does more than celebrate a birthday. It tells a story. It teaches patience as the cake is prepared with care over a slow fire. It teaches reverence for life and community. It teaches wonder as a simple flame becomes a symbol of hopes and dreams. And it teaches continuity as each small act, the kneading of dough, the careful placement of candles, the whisper of a wish, links a child to countless ancestors and future generations alike. Imagine the sounds, too. The soft murmur of family voices, the laughter of children running around the courtyard, the distant bleating of goats, and the occasional clatter of a clay pot. Every sensory detail makes this moment vivid and alive, turning the simple act of baking and sharing a cake into an unforgettable experience. The flicker of candlelight, the warm aroma, the taste of honey and grains, the texture of the soft cake, all combine to create an early form of storytelling, one that transcends language and time. This is the beginning of what will become the birthday cake. From the flickering candles in a Greek courtyard to the layered confections of modern celebrations, every element, light, sweetness, ritual, and anticipation, originates here. The first birthday cake is not just food, it is history, memory, and magic baked into a circle of golden bread and honey. It is humanity's first attempt to mark life's passage with sweetness, joy, and a tangible connection to the divine. Even the smallest details matter. The texture of the linen under the cake, the slight unevenness of the dough, the careful arrangement of each candle, the expressions of the family, all these elements combine to make the moment sacred. Every bite is a communion with the past, a participation in a tradition that will endure for thousands of years. This is the origin story of the birthday cake, and through it, the idea of celebrating life, marking milestones, and sharing sweetness is born. An idea that still shapes how we honour our loved ones today. Fast forward to medieval Germany, around the 14th and 15th centuries. Imagine cobblestone streets winding through towns, the air thick with the scent of freshly baked bread, roasted nuts, and distant wood smoke from hearth fires. Small market stalls overflow with colourful fruits, herbs, and spices, while children run through the streets, their laughter mingling with the clatter of carts and the low hum of townspeople going about daily life. In these towns, a new tradition is taking root: Kinderfest, or children's birthday festivals. Unlike the simple cakes of ancient Greece, these cakes are layered, sweeter, and more decorative. Bakers experiment with sugar, honey, eggs, and spices, creating a new type of cake known as Geburtstagsorten. Each cake becomes the centerpiece of the family's celebration, carefully prepared days in advance. Imagine a family kneeling and mixing dough, crushing nuts and grinding spices, while the child watches eagerly, eyes wide with anticipation. Every detail is deliberate. The texture of the cake, the arrangement of fruits or nuts on top, and the careful shaping of the dough into circles or small figurines. On the day of the festival, the household fills with activity. The smell of warm cake mingles with the scents of roasted almonds, marzipan, and sweet syrup. Family members gather around the table, singing songs or reciting simple blessings for the child. The first slice is ceremonial, often cut by a parent or elder, symbolizing love, protection, and hopes for the year ahead. The cake is not just food, it embodies the family's care, prosperity, and future wishes. Decorations become more elaborate over time. Bakers craft tiny marzipan fruits, hand-painted patterns, or even miniature figures to adorn the cake. Each decoration tells a story: a small animal representing a virtue, a flower symbolizing growth, or a geometric pattern invoking protection and luck. Families invest hours, sometimes days, into these cakes, not merely for taste, but to honor the child and the occasion. The act of baking and decorating connects the family, the baker, and the community, creating a shared experience that resonates emotionally with everyone present. Children's laughter and excitement fill the air. They watch the candles flicker, waiting for the moment when wishes are made and the flames extinguished. The ceremonial aspect of blowing out candles is introduced during this period, marking the transition from simple consumption to a meaningful ritual. Families believed that the act of making a wish, combined with the symbolic cutting of the cake, ensured health, protection, and happiness in the coming year. As these traditions spread, neighbouring regions adopt variations. In Austria, cakes may include rich creams. In Switzerland, layers of nut paste and dried fruits become common. Each adaptation preserves the essence, celebrating the child, creating joy, and transforming the simple act of eating cake into a narrative experience. Cakes evolve into edible storytelling, with layers of flavour, meaning, and ritual combined. The child's anticipation, the singing, and the ceremonial first bite begin to capture hearts and imaginations beyond the household, establishing a cultural tradition that will last centuries. The festival also extends beyond the home. Towns sometimes hold public gatherings for children, with games, small performances, and communal feasts. Cakes symbolise communal joy, linking individual milestones to shared cultural practices. Families pass down recipes and techniques, teaching younger generations not just how to bake, but how to honour life's milestones with attention, care, and creativity. The Kinderfeste become a formative experience for children, shaping their understanding of celebration, ritual and family love. Imagine the senses: the crackle of firewood in the hearth, the smell of warm dough and sweet spices, the texture of soft cake and the vivid colours of marzipan and fruit. Each bite and each moment is a lesson in care, tradition and joy. By the end of the day, the child's face is radiant, the family united in laughter, and the simple cake has become a vessel carrying centuries of cultural memory. Medieval Germany laid the groundwork for the modern birthday cake as we know it. The combination of sweetness, ritual, decorative artistry, and family-centered celebration evolves from these early festivals. Every cake carries the echoes of children laughing in cobblestone streets, of families kneading dough with love, and of candles flickering with wishes that rise into the medieval night sky. Through Kinderfest, birthday cakes transform from simple bread to layered, symbolic confections. They teach care, patience, and community. They are edible stories, bridging generations and inspiring traditions that continue across Europe and eventually around the world. Every modern cake, from a simple chocolate layer to an elaborate multi-tiered creation, can trace its roots back to these joyful celebrations in the heart of medieval towns, where children first tasted not just sweetness, but love, ritual, and wonder. Fast forward to 18th century Europe. The streets of Germany, France, and England are alive with movement, sounds, and smells. In softly lit rooms, families prepare for a very special day, a child's birthday. Imagine warm, golden light spilling through tall windows, illuminating polished wooden tables adorned with freshly baked treats. The air is rich with scents of sugar, vanilla, honey, and spice. Children run through hallways, laughing and chasing one another, their tiny feet tapping on worn wooden floors. Outside, carriages rattle along cobblestones, and merchants' voices mingle with distant church bells, creating a soundtrack of everyday life infused with anticipation. On the table, the birthday cake sits proudly. Unlike its medieval predecessors, it is layered, richly sweetened and carefully decorated. Each layer is baked with precision, filled with jams, creams, or soft butter. Tiny candles glow atop the cake, each representing a year of the child's life, with one extra candle for hope and future dreams. The flames flicker, casting a gentle glow on eager faces as family members gather close, waiting for the moment of ritual. Lighting candles transforms a simple cake into a powerful symbol. The child leans forward, eyes wide, takes a deep breath, and makes a silent wish. When the flames are blown out, a quiet hush spreads through the room, and the smoke rises, carrying the child's secret hopes toward the heavens. This act, now central to birthday celebrations, reflects centuries of evolving tradition, linking ancient rituals, medieval festivals, and family-centered joy into a single, deeply meaningful gesture. The process of preparing and decorating cakes becomes increasingly elaborate. Bakers experiment with sugarwork, creating delicate shapes of flowers, birds, and small figures. Coloured icing is painted carefully on the surface, while patterns and symbols convey wishes for health, happiness, and prosperity. Each cake is a work of art and a story, a tangible expression of care, attention, and love. Families and communities gather not only to eat, but to witness the unfolding of this ritual, celebrating continuity, life, and hope. Children's reactions are priceless. Eyes widen at the glittering candles, mouths water at the rich aroma, and hearts fill with excitement as the first slice is ceremonially cut. The cutting is an act of symbolic sharing, the first piece often given to the eldest or youngest family member, representing continuity and respect. Every bite embodies centuries of history, linking the child to generations who have celebrated life in similar ways, from ancient courtyards to medieval festivals, now formalized in elegant layered cakes. In France, bakers introduce intricate decorations using marzipan and almond paste, creating edible flowers, fruits, and miniature animals. In England, spices such as cinnamon and nutmeg enhance cakes, while colourful icings become more prevalent. Families begin to keep detailed recipes, ensuring that every cake carries both tradition and innovation. This era elevates cakes from simple sweetbreads to cultural artifacts, reflecting status, taste, and the joy of communal celebration. The act of lighting candles and making wishes becomes a central ritual, observed with reverence. The flicker of flames embodies hope, anticipation, and the passage of time. Families gather, quietly attentive, understanding that this moment bridges generations. The child's silent wish, the glow of candlelight, the warmth of family voices, and the scent of spiced cake together create an immersive experience, one that transforms a simple dessert into a multi-sensory ceremony of life. Through these 18th century innovations, birthday cakes solidify their role in human culture. They are no longer just food, they are storytelling devices, symbols of care, hope, and communal joy. Every swirl of icing, every layer, every flickering candle tells a story. They connect past and present, carrying forward ancient rituals and medieval celebrations into the modern imagination, setting the stage for centuries of birthdays filled with sweetness, magic, and love. Step into the modern world. Cities hum with traffic, cafes overflow with chatter and music, and laughter echoes from playgrounds and parks. Yet, in homes across Europe, America, and beyond, a timeless tradition continues: the birthday cake. This simple but profound symbol has travelled thousands of years, evolving from ancient Greek rituals to medieval festivals, to candlelit 18th century ceremonies, and now into modern celebrations that are as diverse as the people who celebrate them. Imagine a brightly decorated cake placed carefully at the centre of a table. Layers rise high, soft sponge stacked with buttercream, jams, or fresh fruit. Frosting is swirled with precision, delicate decorations glint under the light, and colourful candles flicker, each representing a year of life, plus one for hope. The child's eyes widen with wonder, and family and friends gather close, murmuring words of love, laughter, and encouragement. The scent of chocolate, vanilla, fruit, or subtle spices fills the air, mingling with the excitement and warmth of the room. Lighting the candles transforms the cake into more than dessert. It becomes a ritual. The child closes their eyes, takes a deep breath, and makes a silent wish. The tiny flames dance and flicker, reflecting in eager eyes, capturing the essence of hope, love, and connection. When the candles are blown out, a quiet hush spreads, and the rising smoke seems to carry dreams into the air. This simple act links the child to countless generations who have celebrated life with cakes, wishes, and light. Modern birthday cakes are also canvases for creativity and personal expression. Some are adorned with handcrafted sugar flowers, edible figurines, or themed designs reflecting hobbies, stories, or dreams. Others are whimsical, elegant, or even minimalist, yet each tells a story about the person being celebrated and the love of those around them. Preparing and decorating these cakes requires care, patience, and imagination, echoing centuries of tradition while allowing for innovation. The cutting of the cake is as meaningful as lighting the candles. The first slice is often ceremonial, symbolizing sharing, love, and connection. Each piece passed to family or friends transforms eating into a shared experience, a memory in the making. The textures, flavors, colors, and aromas turn every bite into a multi-sensory celebration. Even the simplest cake carries echoes of the past. The round shape, sweetness, candles, and shared enjoyment all reflect ancient Greek rituals, medieval festivals, and 18th century traditions. This celebration is not confined to the home. In schools, communities, and parties worldwide, birthday cakes bring people together, forging bonds and creating collective memories. Children learn the joy of anticipation, the meaning of patience, and the magic of sharing. Adults revisit nostalgia, reconnecting with the universal ritual that has survived millennia. Through the birthday cake, we participate in a living history. Each candle lit, each slice shared, each laugh and cheer forms a bridge between generations. It is a ritual of continuity, a celebration of milestones, and a reminder that even the simplest acts carry profound meaning. Every detail, the texture of frosting, the aroma of fresh cake, the flicker of candlelight, the gleam in the child's eyes, carries centuries of tradition, connecting past, present, and future. In essence, the birthday cake is more than dessert. It is history, creativity, emotion, and ritual combined. It embodies joy, love, and humanity's timeless desire to mark life's passage with sweetness. From ancient Greek courtyards to medieval towns, from 18th century candlelit rooms to today's vibrant, colourful celebrations, the birthday cake remains a glowing, universal symbol of life itself.